Program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Guerrilla Politics. Thank you very much for your time. Listen, we got a great show for you today. I'm Dale Jackson. I'm a radio talk show host. You can hear me on News Talk, 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN, 7 to 11 a.m. in North Alabama. With me, as always, Dr. Wayman Burke from Calhoun Community College. He is a doctor of political science. We got a lot to do today. We're going to have the Attorney General of the state of Alabama, Steve Marshall, on the program. Dr. Burke has a history lesson for you about the census. And I've got a party shot directed at the NFL and all that kneeling. But don't forget, before we get started, go to WVNN, that's my radio station. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up for the 7 things you should be talking about today. You'll get an email from me every single morning with the top topics of the day. So go check that out at yellowhammernews.com. But right now, let's go ahead and get to the 2-minute warning. All right, this is a rather simple one if you ask me. Could the state of Alabama lose a congressional seat because of the way we are counting the citizens in our state? Now, Dr. Burke will probably tell you that we should count everybody, illegals. We should count every single person in this country, no matter how or why they're here. Now, we're going to lose a House seat. Dr. Burke, will we lose this House seat because of an immigration bill, as the Decatur Daily proposed, or will we lose it because basically other states entice illegals to come in?
Well, first of all, Dale, it's all about the numbers. Mm-hmm. And the fact is, the Constitution says that everyone should be counted. It doesn't distinguish between citizens and non-citizens.
At the time, it distinguished between Indians and stuff too.
Whether they're citizens or even undocumented people should be counted. A number of things. One, to congressional seats. And by the way, we have lost congressional seats in the past, not because we're shrinking in population, because we're not growing as fast as other states. Mm-hmm. We lost one in 1960 and another after 1970. But the fact is, it's in our interest for every person who resides in this state to be counted.
How is it in our interest for illegal immigrants across this country to be counted if Alabama is going to lose a seat because of it? How is that in our interest? That's the lawsuit that Steve Marshall, our guest later, and Congressman Mo Brooks have filed against the federal government. How is that in our interest to count illegal immigrants?
Because it's in our interest to keep a congressional seat.
We're going to lose the seat if we count illegal immigrants.
No, we don't lose the seat if we count illegal immigrants.
Yes, we do. That's the argument.
Everyone.
It's incorrect. The argument that is being made is that other states have grown faster with illegal immigration. That's why we're going to lose the seat. That's the argument that's being made. Well, if you don't count illegals, we don't lose the seat.
The thing is, we should probably follow the Chamber of Commerce model and welcome all the people that we can be here in the state of Alabama, because it contributes to our economic growth and it protects our political interests by preserving our 7 members of the U.S. House.
That's not accurate. You just changed conversation midstream.
It is totally accurate.
No, it's not true. All right, moving on. Let's have a conversation about a piece of political theater that some have said is over the top. State Representative Will Ainworth is running for lieutenant governor. During a radio interview on my program, he said the following, and bear with me here because it's a bit over the top. He said that the governor of the great state of Alabama will have blood on her hands if there is another shooting in this state before she calls a special session to take care of school safety. Dr. Burke, is this over the top, or is Will Ainworth echoing the thoughts of the average Alabamian who was told we can't pass any school security laws because there's this committee that had to do its work? It's done its work. Now what?
Well, I think it gives a new meaning to the old political adage that politics is blood sport. Mm-hmm. I understand political rhetoric, and so do you. And I know there's a heightened concern because of all school shootings, but of course we've had 2 very vicious, high numbers of deaths in just in the past weeks, and so that has people's attention. I think that the Mr. Ainworth has has gotten onto an issue that does resonate with the voters of the state.
Yeah.
I do think it is. It's smart politics. Whether it's good policy or not may be another issue, but it is definitely smart politics.
Over 60% of parents, over 60% of Republicans are in favor of allowing teachers to carry in school if they are licensed. That makes it good politics. The question of whether or not it's good policy or not, I'll just tell you this right now. We've seen school resource officers that went in. We saw school resource officers that didn't go in.
Correct.
And we saw lockdown schools at Sandy Hook, and we've seen ones that weren't. The only thing stopping the next school shooter is the willingness to walk through the door right now. And I think putting as much in his way as possible is a good idea. And if that includes hardening the schools or allowing teachers to carry, I'm all for it.
Well, we will continue this. I think there's more to it than that, and we can continue this in perhaps in another week.
All right, let's talk about the governor's races. Will there be runoff? So here's what we've seen so far this week, and we'll start with the Democrats, or as Dr. Burke would call them, the pragmatics. We will start with the Democrats. Sue Bell Cobb and Walt Maddox. These are probably the front runners here. Walt Maddox over the last week picked up 2 big endorsements. Both of the major black Democrat groups in the state of Alabama came over to him and publicly endorsed him. These groups still carry very, very, very large sway in the Democratic Party. Dr. Burke, will there be a runoff in the Democratic Party?
I think that one may be. I think there could be. I think it's unlikely. I think because of some of the recent controversies, especially that
Sue Bell Cobb hired a rapist to work for. Yeah, that was probably not a good call.
That has got to do some damage. And I think Walt Maddox, he may be pulling away on this thing.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of observers feel.
I think so too. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Republican side of the aisle here for just a second. On the Republican side, you got Kay Ivey up big. Polls show her anywhere up from with 47% to 58%. That's just in the last couple of weeks. If she's at 47, you'll have a runoff, but will it really matter? Well, things change in the next round. Of course, Tommy Battle is always listed as pretty much the second person in that race. There's been a lot that has happened in the gubernatorial race. There will be a lot that happens over the next week and some change. Will there be a runoff in the Republican race?
Well, I guess it's possible, and that would seem to be the goal if I were running one of her challengers' campaigns, is to get
into a runoff. Yeah, probably.
And the fact is that Scott Dawson has tossed this issue in about sexuality, and let's remind our viewers that although he committed, he, in a cowardly way, did not show up for the show last week that he had committed to.
That was a suicide bomb. It was an attempt to take her out, but it got him.
But I still think with some voters that resonates.
I think so too. It did damage to her, but I think it destroyed him. All right, let's move on. This is a very interesting race. You probably haven't heard about this, but I want to share it with you anyway. The Public Service Commission has a race. Now, what does the Public Service Commission do? They regulate utilities. Okay, that's what they do. Here's the amazing part about this. There's a guy named Jim Bonner running for this race. He is not related to former Congressman Joe Bonner. He is not related to Judy Bonner of the University of Alabama, but people think that he is. And right now he is polling ahead of the incumbent Jeremy Oden on the Public Service Commission. But Bonner has a very checkered Facebook past. He also has multiple bankruptcies, not paid his alimony, a whole bunch of other things. He's been an interesting character in Alabama politics, in a very small pocket of Alabama politics, but he's up. Dr. Burke, this is basically mistaken identity. And I had this guy on my radio show this week. I had to bleep something he said because he cursed on the radio. I mean, this guy is a character. When you're in an interview with Dale Jackson and you're the character, there's probably a problem here. So can this guy win by basically having the last name that is similar to a name that people across the state, and this is a statewide race, remember?
Well, you remember that Eddie Murphy film where he had the same name as an incumbent who had died, and he put his name on the ballot?
Okay.
And a very funny film. But yeah, it's definitely possible because really the PSC races and state treasurer, these offices sort of they're in the shadows. Most people aren't paying a lot. What are the issues? A lot of it is name identification. And from what I've heard of this guy, he would be a major embarrassment to the people of this state. So I'm not going to go out and endorse anybody else, but on this one I would say vote for Jeremy Oden. God,
I'm not going to endorse anyone, but vote for Jeremy Oden. The funny thing about this race, and I think this is funny, I think if Bonner does win, you might see a disqualification attempt in the Republican Party. I think you may see them.
This guy would be a disaster to our reputation.
I think Isn't it amazing? Dr. Burke's like, there's a whole bunch of guys who will be disasters, and they're all Republicans. It's so weird.
There are a couple of Democrats who would be disastrous
It's
as well.
so weird.
It's just not as many Democrats
You're
running.
so pragmatic. All right, moving on.
I am.
This is the week that they get Donald Trump, as we say every week here on Guerrilla Politics. This is the week. Donald Trump has been talking about spying, and our friends in the mainstream media and the Democratic Party and some pragmatics have taken a couple of interesting positions this week. Hey, there was no spying. Then it was, okay, fine. There were people involved, but they were there for Donald Trump's own good. There was no spying. Sure. There were some human assets that made contact with the Trump campaign under the radar at our direction, but that's not spying. Dr. Burke, is this the week they get Trump? I'll ask the other question second. I just want to give you a chance to answer the question.
You're already answering the question, so why should I say anything? But regardless,
so is this the week they get
you're getting into semantics as to what is spying, what is surveillance, what is encounters, or whatever. Here's the real story behind this. Many people, many observers, many political observers believe that the Mueller report, whatever it is not going to be good for the president. I'm not saying he's guilty of collusion. That may not be one of the charges. But they are so fearful of what's going to be made public that they're trying to do everything possible at this point to prepare that segment of the voters who currently support him to make them believe that there was something crooked about it.
Okay, so
they're trying to paint this narrative
we got that
they are the victim.
You think it's a shell game. Got it. You think it's a scam. I got it. But that's not the question. Is he on to something when he says that there were operatives put into his campaign?
Operatives put into his campaign would be people who are out there, who are part of the decision making and so forth. From what we know now, this professor just had encounters to talk with 3 people, as we understand
at the behest of?
If there is more, then we should know.
At the behest
They were not
of?
following the people; they were following the Russians.
At the behest
But
of?
it's okay that Dale believes it's okay if the Russians get involved.
Watch
That's
this.
what it means.
Watch. I don't have to put words in Dr. Burke's mouth. Let me just sum this up for you as best as I possibly can. Dr. Burke, you can say what you want. They spied on his campaign. You can say whatever they want. They've made a bunch of different reasons to argue it. And maybe they, but here's the thing. If they were going
Dale
after,
is Trump's enabler.
Dr. Burke,
that's what he is.
Excuse me. If you thought for a second that they actually were trying to go after the Russians, they would have told the Trump campaign what was going on, and they would have had Trump help them. We'll have to end it right there. I'm enabling Trump by shutting you down. We'll be back.
We're going to continue this next week.
Steve Marshall will be with us next. He's the Attorney General. Stay tuned. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here from my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team. And I'm here to tell you about Matt Curtis's Instant Offer. It's their new program they've unveiled to help you sell your house with absolutely no hassle, no showings, and you're on your way to your dream house. Now, Matt Curtis, he's a pro. He's got a team full of pros ready to help you sell your house, and now the Instant Offer is just another opportunity to move your house quickly. Call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, and check him out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com.
RVing, still an American pastime.
At Premier Dental, you'll always be welcome with a big smile and a friendly professional team. Our services include everything from children's dentistry to dentures and everything in between, including cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and much more. We accept most insurances, offer bilingual services, and even offer in-house financing. So call us at 256-469-6428 or visit premierdental.org. We're looking forward to seeing your smile soon.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here from my good friends at University Kia. If you are looking for a great vehicle, whether a car or an SUV, you're looking for a great price, you need to go see my friends at University Kia. Calvin, Arthur, and all the guys down there are going to help you find the perfect vehicle for you and your family at an absolutely amazing price. Go online to universitykia.com. Check out their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. And when you go see my friends at University Kia, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at Made Pro. With me today is Cindy and my dogs Savage and Sarge.
As you can tell, these dogs are a handful, and if it weren't for Made Pro, I wouldn't put up with any of them.
That's absolutely true, folks. Made Pro comes once a week to my house, and they keep it clean. They keep my marriage happy, and they keep these dogs happy as well. Call them today, 256-585-6628. Check them out online at madepro.com. And when you talk to Made Pro, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends at Rocket City Property Management. I'm a busy guy. I've got a TV show. I got a radio show, and I write for YellowHammerNews.com. I don't have time to manage my rental property. That's where Rocket City Property Management comes in. They handle everything. They collect the rent. They find the renter. They do every single thing I need them to do, and I don't have to worry about it at all. Go to RocketCityPropertyManagement.com today and learn more. They'll manage your property for you. And when you talk to my friends at Rocket City Property Management, tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
I'm Will Ainsworth. Would you be more worried if the career politicians holding Alabama's future hostage looked like this? Career politicians might not wear masks and break in during the night, but they're just as dangerous. They're bought and paid for by special interests, and they're stealing from us. I'm Will Ainsworth. I'm a proud Christian conservative, and I'm ready to fight the Montgomery crooks and career politicians to save Alabama's future.
Will Ainsworth for Lieutenant Governor.
Welcome back to Guerrilla Politics. I'm Dale Jackson. With me, as always, co-host Dr. Wayman Burke. Steve Marshall, the Alabama Attorney General, joins us. He is running for re-election. We appreciate you taking the time to come in here. The big news, though, this week, it's kind of related, I guess, is your lawsuit with Congressman Mo Brooks from the 5th Congressional District about the census. Right. Tell us about why you felt it was necessary to file this lawsuit. I know some other congressmen are going to jump on and sign briefs in favor. Are other states going to get in, and what was the point?
Well, the point is to stand up for Alabama. You know, we have an expert that we've retained that says that if you, in fact, count those who are here illegally for purposes of congressional apportionment, now that's the very specific portion that this case is directed at. If you do that, Alabama's going to lose 1 congressional seat. It also means we lose an electoral college vote. It also means there's probably impacts on grants and other resources coming back to the state of Alabama. And so we did our research. We hired the expert. The expert will also say that Ohio and Montana are affected just like Alabama, and that those that will benefit will be Arizona, Texas, and California.
States where illegal immigrants have gone.
And where sanctuary cities are places that people offer.
I have to ask the question, does
Yes.
that mean we should recruit more undocumented people?
Not at all. Not at all. What we're saying is, consistent with the idea of our founding fathers, we need to make sure that we count those appropriately for purposes of congressional representation. And so I think everybody ought to see this as an issue for Alabama standing up for itself, our ability to influence what's going on in Washington, and frankly, for the rule of law.
A lot of gambling money's come into this race for Attorney General. Troy King has benefited from a lot of that. That's basically his #1 donor. But there's been another gaming issue, and that's the sports gambling issue. That's come up as well. Mississippi, unbeknownst to most of the legislators who voted for the law, struck a line from a piece of legislation, and all of a sudden they're a pro-gambling state. Is Alabama a state that could head down that path, or is that going to take a legislation? The Attorney General can't look the other way like some have tried in the past, right?
Right. Where people misconstrue the case that came from the Supreme Court. Really, it's a states' rights case. What they did was grant the opportunity for states to engage in sports gaming if, in fact, it's lawful. It's not lawful in Alabama. Number one, a statute wouldn't allow it. You and I could vote on the Celtics game this week if you want to bet on the Celtics game. You couldn't have a third party to be involved like a gaming book.
Okay.
Then secondarily, there's the question of whether or not you need a constitutional amendment, whether or not this would be considered a game of chance, which would violate the lottery provision of the Constitution. I think the safest way, if they want sports gaming, is to actually pass a constitutional amendment. Otherwise, it's going to be challenged in the courts.
Okay. Mr. Attorney General, and I ask everybody this question, How do you differentiate yourself from your competitors?
Well, I think one, I can point to what I've done. You don't have to sort of say what it would be that I would do as Attorney General, but in fact, you can look at my record. What we've done in the public safety sphere, violent crime, opioid, dealing with those who are victims of violent crime and the offenders on death row to be able to speed up those appeals. You can look at the litigation that we filed, whether it be with DACA, and I know you don't agree with me on that, what we've done on other immigration matters involving sanctuary cities, the fact that we've stood up on Second Amendment issues and also on pro-life issues in Baltimore and California. Beyond that, 20 years as a prosecutor, I'm a balls and strikes guy. I'm somebody who knows what it's like to fight in courtrooms and be able to stand for victims and law enforcement.
As we run out of time here, there was a recent case where a murderer sought parole. You and the governor were against this. About 20 seconds, tell the audience what happened.
Judith Ann Neely, one of the most notorious cases in North Alabama, kidnapped, raped, tortured, and then killed a young girl. Governor James commuted that sentence. We thought that that was inappropriate from death. We were there to be able to fight for that family to make sure she stayed in an Alabama prison, and we're thankful that she did.
And a lot of people don't know this. Troy King was involved in that decision with Fob James, right?
He was part of the legal team that gave them that recommendation.
There we go. Steve Marshall, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dale.
We appreciate you joining us. The Attorney General of the state of Alabama. That election is June 5th. Stay tuned. Dr. Burke's got a history lesson for you about the census, and I got a parting shot. Stay tuned. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here from my good friends at University Kia. If you are looking for a great vehicle, whether a car or an SUV, you're looking for a great price, you need to go see my friends at University Kia. Calvin, Arthur, and all the guys down there are going to help you find the perfect vehicle for you and your family at an absolutely amazing price. Go online to universitykia.com. Check out their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. And when you go see my friends at University Kia, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improved range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
RVing, still an American pastime.
All the answers you're ever going to need are in this book.
Will Ainsworth, Christian, conservative, proud of it.
I'm Will Ainsworth. I'll fight the liberal elites who mock our Christian values, take away our guns, and redefine marriage.
Will Ainsworth, youth pastor, conservative truth teller, owner, Dream Ranch.
As your lieutenant governor, I'll go by the book and always stand for our Christian values that make Alabama great.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here from my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team. And I'm here to tell you about Matt Curtis's Instant Offer. It's their new program they've unveiled to help you sell your house with absolutely no hassle, no showings, and you're on your way to your dream house. Now, Matt Curtis, he's a pro. He's got a team full of pros ready to help you sell your house, and now the Instant Offer is just another opportunity to move your house quickly. Call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, and check him out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com.
At Premier Dental, you'll always be welcome with a big smile and a friendly professional team. Our services include everything from children's dentistry to dentures and everything in between, including cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and much more. We accept most insurances, offer bilingual services, and even offer in-house financing. So call us at 256-469-6428 or visit premierdental.org. We're looking forward to seeing your smile soon.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Wayman Burke here for Russ Russell Commercial Real Estate Company. Russ Russell Commercial Real Estate is Huntsville's premier real estate company. If you need raw property for development, if you need office space, if you need retail space, you need to contact Russ Russell. Russ is a native Huntsvillian. He knows us, he knows our people, he knows business. 536-7777. 536-7777. RussRussell.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at Made Pro. With me today is Cindy and my dogs Savage and Sarge.
As you can tell, these dogs are a handful, and if it weren't for Made Pro, I wouldn't put up with any of them.
Now, that's absolutely true, folks. Made Pro comes once a week to my house, and they keep it clean. They keep my marriage happy, and they keep these dogs happy as well. Call them today, 256-585-6628. Check them out online at madepro.com. And when you talk to Made Pro, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you. Welcome back to Guerrilla Politics. We got a lot to get into to wrap up the show. I'm Dale Jackson. With me, as always, Dr. Wayman Burke from Calhoun Community College. Dr. Burke has a history lesson for you about the census, which has been a very contentious bone here in American politics here recently. And I've got a party shot for you. We're going to talk a little bit about the NFL and what exactly they're trying to do. Dr. Burke, take it away.
Dale, this census, upcoming 2020 census, a lot of controversy has been injected into this, and it really comes down to something very simple. Do the math. And this is a commercial from the 2000 census encouraging people to register for the census and the implications of not registering. Roll it.
Where does this school go? Or that firehouse? You tell me. Is it needed in your neighborhood? You say where it belongs by answering Census 2000. Your answers can help decide who gets what, like a job training center or a building for health care. You can answer Census 2000 and get what you need. Or you can leave it blank and get this. Nothing. Welcome the community census representative when they stop by.
Dale, it's very important for every person, citizen and even non-citizen, to be counted, because not only congressional seats, but also federal budget bequests that go to the states are determined by that census number.
Yeah, but illegal aliens are being roped into this, and they're being counted for representation too, thus diluting the representation of people who are supposed to be in the country, and that's the bone of contention.
Well, I respectfully disagree.
No, you can't disagree. That's the argument.
You need to count everyone.
No, I understand your point.
Yes.
But the argument is over whether to count illegals. You say we should. I say we should not. That's a very simple way.
We'll just have to agree to disagree on that.
One of us is right, one of us is wrong, but that's how it normally goes. So let's go ahead and get to the party shot. My party shot this week is directed at the NFL, and I have to wonder, are you trying to help Trump? Are you trying to help the Republican Party? Do you want them to keep control of Congress? Because it looks like you do. At the end of the day, the NFL should probably have to declare an in-kind contribution to the Republican Party, because the longer they drag out this ridiculous kneeling controversy, the more times you're going to see Donald Trump come out and say, hey, get those guys out of the country, or they're being un-American. And right now, Americans believe that these players who are kneeling are protesting the anthem or the troops or America. They don't think they're protesting anything about police brutality. They just don't believe it. Now, you could say what they're doing and try to explain it, but right now they believe it's about the anthem or the country. You're failing. Keep doing this. Keep making this argument, players. Keep making this argument, my friends in the media. Keep making this argument, and you're going to see Republicans use it as a weapon. So just go ahead, declare on your forms right now an in-kind contribution to Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Thank you very much for watching Guerrilla Politics this week. Don't forget, go to yellowhammernews.com. Sign up for the 7 things you should be talking about today right there on the website, and you'll get an email from me every single morning, just like Dr. Burke does. Thanks very much for watching and listening to Guerrilla Politics. We'll be back next week.